And welcome and good evening to Zija International's Biz Talks. My name is Amy McKenzie. I'm an Emerald executive with the company, and it's truly my privilege to be here tonight to share some information with you all. Typically, this is hosted by Triple Diamond executive Fred Holmes, one of the top income earners and trainers with the company. So it's really a privilege to be able to step in for him this evening, especially given the guest I get to interview tonight, another one of our top leaders and trainers. But we'll be bringing him up in a little bit. Before I get started, though, I want to welcome everyone. I see here we have some leaders. We have people really sharing our message out there in the field, so welcome to you. And I also want to give a special warm welcome to those of you who are maybe just hearing this for the first time. Might have been a friend, a colleague, a family member told you about this opportunity, and you're just listening in. Well, we're going to share some information that's going to really help give you kind of a brief overview of what we're offering. And when we look at something like this from a professional's point of view, there's three areas that you want to look at. First, you want to consider what's the leadership. You're not going to get on a ship and sail across the ocean unless you know that captain has experience. That's very important. Secondly, we're going to look at the quality of the products, because of course we all want the best. And thirdly, we're going to consider the timing. As in anything, timing is everything. So we're going to take a look at those three. You might want to get a notebook and pen, take a few notes, as we are going to cover quite a bit in a short period of time, and then we'll bring up our special guest. So let's begin. We'll begin with the leadership. Now, it all comes down to our founder, Ken Brailsford, and his family. You may never have heard of Ken, but he's actually an icon in the health and wellness industry, truly. In fact, you may have already been positively impacted by the things he's brought forth in his illustrious career without realizing it. For instance, if you've ever taken an echinacea to ward off a cold, St. John's wort, ginkgo biloba to get that mental clarity, we have Ken to thank. Now you could go, harvest some herbs, but he is literally the father of herbal encapsulation, and that's a huge gift to us. So he is an icon in health and wellness. He's also an icon, however, within our profession of network marketing. And here's why. This profession is 75 plus years and running. And during that time, there have literally been tens of thousands of companies that have come and gone. And out of all those companies, there's only about 24 that have stood the test of time, that have attained what they call legacy company status. And here's what that means. In order to be a legacy company, you have to have done over $1 billion in sales, been in business for 20 years or more, and most importantly, still be in business today to still be on that list. Ken is the only founder in history that literally has 2 companies on that list. Nature's Sunshine, some of you may have heard of it. It was brought forth in the 70s, still running on vitamin shelves around the world. Wonderful, wonderful products. Enrich International in the 80s. Both of these companies not only done $1 billion, but multiple billions of dollars in sales and are still operating today. Zija is his 3rd company, and it is destined to be $1 billion legacy company. And here's why. Actually, I'll just cover a couple of reasons. First of all, we're about 12 years old now, and in that time, we have accomplished what usually takes decades for a company. For instance, we look like we're 40. We are debt-free. We're vertically integrated. And what that means is no one else can put their fingers in this pie. From the plantations to harvesting, from the produce being then in our pharmatech, being produced, manufactured, shipped, marketing, all of it is under the roof of Zija International. And every step is very carefully monitored so that what you receive is exactly what you expect to receive. Right? Beautiful products, category creators. We'll touch on that in a minute. So when you're looking at a company that has that kind of foundation, right? Literally everything's in place. In fact, so much so that right now today, we could go to $1 billion in sales without adding a brick. That's incredible. We're annualized, right? At about 150 million. So that's a lot of growth without ever having to be concerned about running out of product, right, or running out of money. It's all there, already in place. And that's because Ken has such experience and such vision that he has done a very slow, careful build so that now we are at this moment in time. And we'll get to that in a minute. Because first I want to touch on the products. All that's great, but if you don't have the best of the best, doesn't really matter that much. It matters, of course, when you want to be around, when you want to trust that that ship is going to get to the other side of the ocean. But you want to make sure that the quality of what you're sharing is something that you feel good about. And I can tell you it's all good news there. We have our flagship core nutrition line where we began, which is the Moringa. And if you haven't looked up Moringa, I encourage you to do so. It's considered the most nutrient botanical in the world. I like to call it my nutritional insurance policy, right? Because if you are drinking our wonderful, delicious, by the way, drink on a daily basis, you're covered. You know that you have all the minerals, nutrients, vitamins. My goodness, there's all the amino acids, the omegas 3, 6, and 9 in vast quantity. It's just chock full of antioxidants, and not to mention the anti-inflammatories. It's just a powerhouse. Add a little D3 and you literally know that your body or your children or your grandchildren are getting everything they need on a daily basis. It's wonderful. And we've then developed a weight management system that's all natural, allows the body to self-correct, which is why people maintain their weight loss. And not just 40, 50, 60 pounds. We're talking people that have lost 100, 200, 300, even 400 pounds, and still, to this day, have not gained it back because their body has come back into balance. So you really get encouraged to do kind of a lifestyle change that is so encouraging, then people start wanting to work out. Well, we just happen to have an all-natural system for working out that is effective. Our professional athletes love it. Name any category. We've got gold medalists. We've got NFL football players. In every category, we have athletes that love this because it's actually good for them while they're getting the results that they need, including one of my favorite products, the Hydrate. It's got electrolytes. It's incredible, literally hydrates your body, tastes good, it's less expensive than things that probably you shouldn't be putting in your body cost. And then, of course, we have our essential oils. If you're not familiar with the Ameo essential oils, it's another category creator, first ever to market that are actually clinical grade. You can look at the bottom of your bottle, type in the batch number into the computer, and actually see the cell permeable cell activity of that exact batch. It's very, very effective. And then we have the Gen M skincare line, which is probably the sleeping giant of this company. I don't know a distributor that doesn't use it. Even the guys, they say the facial skin wash is a wonderful shaving cream. I mean, it's just incredible that you are healing your skin while you're washing it. And then, of course, you have all the other, the 2-Minute Miracle. I mean, there's so many wonderful skincare products. I won't even go into it, but obviously I am excited about them. And so when you look at the plethora of products that we have, we've got a water purifier that's incredible. It's the only living botanical water purification system in the world. And if you weren't aware of it, Moringa is the best natural water purifier they've ever found. It's all in the seeds. So that's worth looking into. We have our Zija Miracle Foundation, which is providing the Moringa Meal Pack. It's an incredible opportunity to make a difference for other people while you're building your business, just sharing something that's benefiting those in need. So we have literally something for everyone in our product categories, and they're all first to market category creators, I should say, in every one of these product divisions. And so I really invite you to, get with the person who invited you and have some fun, sample some of these products. You'll be amazed. Even the toothpaste, I've never seen people get so excited about toothpaste, but it really is that good. You can purchase all the things that you would normally, go to a big box store to get, except that you're actually, increasing your bottom line at the same time you're using these wonderful products. The shampoo, the conditioner, I mean, it's really extraordinary options for people. And yet you're just kind of naturally sharing as you go along. So it works beautifully because there really is something for everyone. Now, the third component that's really important to consider, I just touched on briefly, which is timing. As I mentioned, we're just annualized at about 150 million. So here you have a company that has the foundation. Everything's in place. And yet we're not quite a household name yet. What does that mean for you? Well, it means you showed up at the right time. We are just about to launch Zija 2.0, and it's exciting. I'll tell you that they've taken everything that we have, which is so great, and then somehow managed to make it one notch better. Simple, clean, easy to share. The compensation plan is designed so that people can really, right from the beginning, begin to create an income, which is inspiring. It encourages you to keep sharing. And the beauty of it is, you don't ever have to sell anything, honest to goodness. If that was required, I wouldn't have been successful, really. But when you're excited about something and you want people to try it, and then you get a referral fee basically for sharing it, it gets kind of the things moving. Well, when you do that at the same time, the company is moving into momentum, which is right at the point that we are right now. The excitement spreads that much faster. And they say that when you come into a company right about where we are, from now up until about the 500,000, half billion mark, that's when the most millionaires tend to be made. Now, you don't have to do that, but the opportunity is there. And quite frankly, I got where I am kind of by accident. I just loved it. I started sharing it. I was pretty surprised when I started making a check every week just by doing something I do anyway, because I always recommend the right movie or my favorite restaurant. I've just never gotten paid for it before. So when you do that at a moment in time where we are, before everyone else knows about it, before your cousin's telling you, you're sharing it with people, and you're kind of in at the absolute ultimate perfect time. We're about to have our summit in October, the first weekend in October in Orlando. We're going to be launching even more new products and the new compensation plan. So make sure you stay up to date with that, because it is very exciting. Now, I want to now move over to what I'm most excited about today, is being introduced you to someone who is, well, he's just really special, okay? Phil Jakobson, in my opinion, is one of the most exciting trainers that we have. In fact, honestly, I owe quite a bit of what I've learned over the years from him. I'm just pulling down here to find him. There he is. There you are, Phil. I'm going to go ahead and bring you over, Phil. Hi, Phil. Let's see, make sure you're not muted there. All right.
Hi there.
Hi, Phil. Now we can hear you. It's a pleasure to have you. You have made such a difference in my growth and career. You just have a way of training people, getting the message across that just made it so simple for me and got me past my fears. I know you've been an incredible leader for so many people. As a black diamond in Zija International, you have literally touched thousands of lives, tens of thousands of lives. Just by doing what you do and doing it so well. So if you would, take a few moments, please, and share with us, what Zija International has meant to you and to your family.
Well, thanks so much, Amy. It's just an absolute pleasure to be online with you. It's always exciting listening to just listening to the company's story, because it's always relevant. And let's face it, I mean, all of us on a daily basis are concerned with health and nutrition, whether we think about it or not. And quite frankly, I had the opportunity just to bet on myself, which is something that we all have to do, isn't it? When we get presented with a great opportunity, we have to decide whether or not, hey, would this work for me? And I was in a place in my life a number of years ago where the opportunity was presented to me, and I had that same decision to make. And thankfully, I opted to go for it. And thankfully, I know your sponsor, Fred Holmes, who's one of the absolute leaders of the company. It was his sponsor, David Moses, that talked to me. So I was very fortunate to be, I guess, finding out about this company early. But one of the things that's most exciting for me is watching other people that have just recently started in the last year or two, just really do incredible things and grow very, very quickly and are now leaders in the company themselves. So what has the company meant to me? Well, to be perfectly honest, it has given me the time freedom that I've always wanted. And I think all of us, as we're looking into what are we going to do for a living, there's always that expectation that we will be able to, have a little bit more time freedom to be able to come and go as we please and not always be tied to, having to work. Most people that do well in life are hard workers, regardless of what they're working at. And I was fearful of being able to work for myself, to be perfectly honest, because in this kind of an enterprise, we are self-employed. And as exciting as that may sound, there's no one to get you out of bed in the morning. There's no one to make you work. And so it's very easy to take the day off. And I was fearful of whether or not I was going to be able to employ myself. But thankfully, with good leadership, and that's one of the first things that you were talking about here with the company, is the leadership. I was able to follow the leadership and really the track to run on that they gave me. And I did exactly what you did, Amy, and just went to work. And thankfully have been able to share the opportunity to have a business of your own with a number of people who have decided to take up on it. And it's through people like that that the organization has been able to grow. And I'm, by no means one of the most successful people in the company, but I certainly have done. I feel like I've done okay for myself, obviously. But it's so exciting to watch so many other people, because this opportunity that we have answers the questions that everybody is thinking about. I mean, let's face it, we all have to do something on a daily basis, and who wants to work forever until they drop dead? So this gives us the opportunity to do what we have to do for 5 years, so that we can do what we want to do for the rest of our lives. So literally, we've been able to grow our business to the point where my wife and I can literally now start to enjoy the fruits of our labors. And we're doing that, and we're very, very excited to be heading off to Summit here in another week or so to meet up with people down in Orlando. That's one of the great things that we do in a company like this, is to be able to join every year with people from, quite frankly, around the globe, as we all get together kind of in the same place at the same time. And it's going to be really, really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing you there, not to mention Fred and David, and obviously a number of the other people that I've been able to meet. So really, it comes down to the time freedom. And I hope I haven't taken too long with answering that simple question, but I'll hand it back to you there, Amy.
No, not at all. You brought up some great points. One is the unexpected delight of literally becoming connected almost on a family level. I mean, it's, knowing you for years, that relationship just grows deeper. It is really, I think Ken Brailsford, our founder, put it one year, and that's when he came up with Zija Nation, which is what we call ourselves. It came out of him saying, this is more like a family reunion than any corporation I've ever been involved with. I've never seen anything like it. And I think it's because the heart of people that want to really make a difference for others, it really comes through. And so I think that's an excellent point. It really is special when we get together. And I also love that, I feel good if I do something nice for one person, right? You hold the door open, you help someone with their groceries to the car. It feels good. When I think about the number of people whose lives you've touched, many of whom you'll probably never meet, but what does that mean for you? And when you look at that in terms of where you see Zija going from this point, if you could touch on those 2 points, I'd love that.
Well, that is a very, very good point. And quite frankly, there are literally now hundreds of people that I've met through being associated with this company, and true lifelong friendships have been established. And that really is, at the end of the day, all the money and everything else aside, that's really what life is about, the impact that we can have on other people that you brought up. And that really is the thing that brings our quality of life to the fore, really, because that's what our quality of life is all about. Let's face it, you can only live in one house at a time. You can only drive one car at a time. You can only eat one meal at a time, take one trip at a time. So, the whole wealth principle that we're espousing here and wanting to show people is the fact that providing you can start to generate more than enough, it gives you completely free time to be able to go and assist other people. And that's really what this whole Zija Nation movement is about. I mean, absolutely, we're about a lifestyle choice. Not only health wise, but time freedom wise. And that's the thing. And I want people to think about this as they're listening to this. What would it be like if you could actually start to impact your own neighborhood? Just think about it for a little bit. I mean, most of us are a little bit on a little bit of a treadmill, I guess. It comes down to, we've got to go to work. I mean, obviously we're responsible. We work hard. We go to work. We come home. We go to work. We come home. We've got clubs and things that the kids have got to look after. We've got to look after our folks, maybe if we're a little bit older. There's a lot of things that we've got to do. But think about what your life would be like when you're able to actually start to think about a large group of people rather than maybe your immediate or extended family.
Mhm.
It's nice to be able to have your family looked after and your extended family looked after, but that is when life starts to get exciting, because now you can actually start to reach out to the community and help other people. And just whether it's through random acts of kindness, which are always fun to do because people never expect them, and just really start to help your community and the nation at large, I guess, as well. And boy, if there was ever a time where the nation at large needed to help each other, it's now. I mean, we've got trying times all over the world. Doesn't matter where we live, whether it's in Canada where I live or the United States where you live. There seems to be pressures and problems all over the place. But the one thing that's unifying to us all is the fact that if we get healthy and start to provide more than enough, we can start to help lots of other people. And that's really what this company has been able to do for me. And obviously, I'm very appreciative of the leadership of the company. I'm very appreciative of the track to run on that they've given us, because it means that anybody from any background, from any economic system, it doesn't matter what your finances are, it really doesn't matter at all. All you've got to do is decide that this is something that I would like to try. You've got a lot of help. A lot of people will help you. And then that's where these other relationships start to build. And that's the most rewarding thing of all, is to be able to travel around the world and just meet people that you've met through the business and get involved in their lives and get involved with helping people all over the place. So that's really what it's meant to me. It's long. It's been years now since I've had to worry about anything in my immediate future in terms of, do we have enough money for this or money for that? Thankfully, we've been able to share this principle and this opportunity with lots of other people, and we really enjoy helping those people win. And doesn't mean it's always easy. I mean, it's always simple. It's not always easy. And sometimes when you mentor people, they don't really appreciate it when you're mentoring them, because you've got to say, listen, you're self-employed, time to buck up, get going. And then other times it's great to be able to slap them on the back and say, hey, congratulations, you did a fantastic job. And I'm just thinking now of many people that I'm talking with during the week, even just this last week, that have worked hard. They've worked hard and they've pulled some things off, and they're excited and happy about it. And it's going to be great to see those people again when we get into Orlando. So Amy, yeah, it's been an absolute blessing. Leadership of the company is great. Obviously, the quality of products, my goodness, I'm not even going to start naming all the products that I like to use. It's fantastic. And then, of course, you've done such a great job of talking about the timing. So my goodness, I'd just like to invite everybody to join us and start to have some fun.
Well, you touched on something that reminds me of something Fred always says. You can't give what you don't have. Once you are able to give, you're right. It is the greatest joy, knowing your family's taken care of. Once your needs are met, I love the way you put it. You can only live in one house at a time. It's so great. The joy of being able to have, and the opportunity to make a difference for other people. Once your family's set, I don't think there's any greater joy. And you couldn't have said it better, Phil. Thank you so much for taking the time with us today. You are an inspiration. I can't wait to see both you and Shelley, because I also love your better half, I think is the way we put it, right?
That's for sure. And thank you so much, because my goodness, it's just it's such a blessing to sit and listen to you and see just how well you're doing in the business. I'd like to congratulate you on all your success as well, Amy. It's truly a privilege to be brought on and be able to be part of your call. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil. Well, and I'll see if I can pop you back over. I'm one of those people that, thank goodness, there is no discretion with this, because honestly, I am one of those people who really, what? I honestly probably wouldn't have made it without that leadership. No way. It wouldn't have happened, you guys. So I'm, was the single mom who did well kind of story. And boy, it changed my daughter's life and my life, my whole family's life. Get back with the person who invited you to this call. Find out, get your questions answered. There really is something for everyone. As Phil said, it doesn't matter where you come in or how you start, right? It just doesn't matter. You can get there, whatever level there is for you, if you want to, and you'll have the help to do it. We've got tools, we've got trainings. Pat Anderson, our #1 woman worldwide, does a beautiful health talks on Wednesday nights where she features different people, from doctors to scientists, all kinds of folks, where she interviews them about the product. We have this Thursday night opportunity meeting, Saturday morning coming up, 10 a.m. Pacific. you can have a fast start training for new distributors that really just kind of begins to get you on track with what you need to do, the simple few steps to take that really will launch your business. And then, of course, we're always all working together as a team because we really are Zija Nation, and we are dedicated to the natural health revolution being worldwide. We're going viral. It's already happening. If you like the idea, get in line, lock arms with us, join forces, and we will move forward and make the difference that needs to be made out there in the world together. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Look forward to hearing from you all soon. And if you can make it to Summit, we'd love to have you. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great rest of your night. Good night.